Good morning and welcome to my David Wilson Out and About YouTube channel. Well, it's been a long time coming, best part of a year since I've last been out on the paddle. It's absolutely disgusting. I think my last video was on the River Medway and I was about a week away from starting my new job or starting my new career. More about that later. Anyway, just going under a bridge. Today I'm back out on the Medway. I'm trying to find my sea legs or my water legs, if you like, having not been out for so long. So I thought I'd just come out and paddle in familiar territory. So I'm out on the Medway. I've put in at Tonbridge Slip and I'm paddling down towards Oakwere Lock. Now I'm going to see how I do. I've got a couple of issues at the moment, but again I'll explain more about that later. I just want to sort of get going and see how I get on. So if you fancy, come along for the ride. Well, at the moment we're aiming for Town Lock, and in front of you there you can see the bridge across Tunbridge High Street. There's going to be quite a bit of noise until we get past Tunbridge Lock and on toward Eldridge's Lock. Eldridge's, I said that wrong, but then it really does become peaceful. Well, there's the bridge over the high street, and to the right of me here, I'll actually go through that arch, I think. There's a platform, and as you can see, there's a few boats there saying Tunbridge River trips. So in the summer, the proper summer if you like, you can hire boats and take a nice little row down the Medway. I hope I caught that on film, that lovely little bird. I couldn't work out what it was, it's so dark under the bridge. But, you should see a lot more wildlife as we get further along the route. As you can see, there's the bridge behind me. It's quite windy today. I hope this the audio is coming out well. I'm using my Boya mic with the, for want of a wrong word, the dead cat on it, so hopefully that's cutting down some of the wind noise, but it is quite gusty. I'm hoping as the day goes on the sun will break out and the wind will drop. That would suit me down to the ground. But I'm not waiting for a red hot day just to get out on the paddle. I was desperate to get out and enjoy the river again. But there's Tunbridge Town Lock ahead. Not the most attractive lock, but I'm wondering whether I can actually portage this. I've got a 7-inch skeg on today. For some reason I couldn't find my 3.5-inch one, so I may brave it, because if I can get through this one, then I should be able to get down to where I want to go by using the canoe passes. And coming back up I'll have to portage. Let's go and have a look. Oh, it's very blowy. Yeah, Town Lock Canoe and Fish Pass. I know I can get down it with my 3.5 inch skeg, but I'm not too sure about with this one. Great if I end up getting stuck. Awful lot of debris in the water at the moment. I suppose we're just off the back of the winter. You can hear the pass running. Whether I can go down it or not is another thing. This is a level 1 grade, easy, moderate. We're about to find out. Hey, got there. Oh, I just got a whack in the face there. Took in a tiny bit of water, nothing to worry about. Oh well, that's proved the point. As I say, on the way back, I've got no choice but to portage. Well, that was a bit of fun. Thoroughly enjoyed that, although I did get slightly wet. I was trying to stop the craft from hitting the sides. It was actually quite furious. The river's still quite deep at the moment. As we get further into the summer, it gets a lot shallower, obviously, because of the heat, you know, the good weather. But it's more like an early spring day. It's overcast, and as I said, there's an awful lot of debris and quite a breeze. But you can't have it all. I mean, to be honest, I've been out in days where it's topping 30 degrees and it's absolute killer. Doesn't matter how much you strip off, you know, it just wears you down. You sort of do a few miles, you wonder what's wrong with you, and it's just purely the heat, because you're on the water, you know, the sun's reflecting it into your eyes, onto your body, and it's just really hard work. And I'm just floating, just moving along very slowly at the moment. I've brought myself a hydration pack today, and what I've done, in the back of the seat on this kayak, there's a storage bag. I've never used it. It's not waterproof, but it's a nice little, well, it's a lot bigger than I thought. There's a little storage bag on the back. And what I've done, I've bought a 1.5 litre bladder, water bladder, put it in there, and I got the hose. So that saves me having sort of bottles and, you know, laying on the deck, and obviously if the water's coming over, it's contaminating the bottle. So I've got my hose, and I can literally, I could if I wanted to, put it through the top there, leave it there, bite on it and take a drink. The silly thing is as well, it's also made the seat more stable, which is an absolute bonus, because when I put it in, it's holding the back of the seat upright when I'm getting into the kayak, and often it tries to fall forward, causing you issues when you're getting in at a canoe platform or, you know, landing stage. So it's a win-win. I'm actually quite enjoying this breeze. Literally within about 300 metres, it's just peace and quiet, just the odd plane going over, light aircraft. That'll be it, and then we're what I call on our way. Another road bridge ahead, and then it starts to become very rural. Oh, the sun's coming out. Very shortly I'm going to feel overdressed. I'm not sure what that is dangling down from the bridge in the middle there. I'm not going to go too near it. Let's move over to the left a little bit. Is it a chain of some sort? It's an iron rod. Oh, very strange. Oh, it's a rope. Oh, I see. Very ingenious. A rope swing in the middle of a river. This is the life. Very old narrow boat there. Looks more or less abandoned. That's it, sun's out. I'll be stripping off at the next lock. I don't know if the noise is coming out on the video, but I'm being buffeted underneath the boat. It's very windy and there's quite a strong undercurrent here. I can feel it sort of banging into the bottom of the boat. Oh, that wind is really picking up. I'm going to stick to the left, cut this corner. Although it looks like, if you look ahead, that the calm is to the right, but let's cut straight across. We've got another bend coming up. The good thing about this section of the river is there's less motor vehicles or motor launches, arrow boats or things like that, because once you get past Tunbridge town lock, there's basically none except for live-on boards. So it's a very, very quiet stretch, certainly, especially during the week. Stripped off a bit, was already getting far too hot, and I've only done about a mile. Just goes to show you that if you put in really early in the morning, how quickly the weather can change. I mean, the trouble is I do like to get out really early, so I often get, you know, cold, windy, and then the day completely changes. Maybe I should come out later, and then at least I know, you know, what the weather's going to be like for most of the day. I just stopped for a moment to have a drink and to get my shell jacket off. As I said, I was getting too hot, and in the time it took me to take the buoyancy aid off, get my jacket off and put it buoyancy aid back on, the current here had spun me round and was sending me back upstream, so I had to turn around, do about 20-30 yards back to where I stopped paddling. Yeah, you hear the noise underneath the boat. It's also where it's hitting the solid keel, because that's made of solid plastic on this. I think that's most of the noise. The great thing about these crafts, I mean, this is not a full drop stitch kayak, this is a hybrid kayak. So what that means basically is the deck, or the base if you like, is absolutely rock solid. It inflates to 10 psi, which is the sort of pressures that they do with the high pressure paddle boards. The side chambers are more like the traditional kayaks as you know it. They're much larger. They're not as large, they're probably about 12 inches in diameter, whereas a lot of them are considerably bigger than that, which does make them more stable but adds to the drag. and a lot of them only inflate to 1.5, absolute maximum 3 psi. This inflates up to 6. I've put it to 5 in the side chambers today because I'm anticipating it warming up, and obviously the air will warm up in the chambers, and it can actually, air expands in heat. So yes, so effectively it's a paddleboard with side chambers. That's a hybrid kayak. The full drop stitch kayaks, like the other one I got, which is the Blue Wave Glider, are full 10 psi. So the sides are literally more like gunnels. They're only about 2 inches thick. The sun's breaking through now and again, but it's gone all overcast again. It's forecast today for cloud with sunny spells, so can't expect a lot. And it's a first good trip out. I think the weather's improving a lot from Wednesday, where it's going to be rather hot and sunny, so I may get out again on Wednesday. Tomorrow I've got a few chores and I'll be actually producing the video from this footage. I've certainly got a bit of a fight on my hands on this section. It's quite rough. I'm just taking it steady. I'm not going to try and power into it. I've got quite a few miles to do, and unfortunately the wind is blanking out the sound of the bird song, because there's a lot of bird song, a lot of birds flying backwards and forwards. I have seen a finch now shooting across the water, but I wasn't recording. You can see I'm really trying to put some effort in, so you can hear that I'm putting some effort in to try and fight through this. Hopefully once I get through the next lock it'll be a bit calmer. Well, I've got about a quarter mile till I reach Eldridge lock. I've just checked it on Google Maps. I'm keeping the app open and just sort of following my progress down the river. To try the canoe pass there as well. That's actually, the Tunbridge one was actually quite steep. Well, there was a lot of water on it, but I know the next one's quite sedate in comparison. I've been down it before. So while we're ambling down the river, I'll tell you a little bit more about what I've been up to since I last got out on the paddle, which literally was May, early May last year, and we're now June the 5th, so 13 months ago. I think it was the last video, it might be the second from the last video, was plans for the future and what I was up to. So basically I was going back to work and what was going to happen with my channel. Well, I went into my new job, my new career if you like, ambulance service, training, shift patterns. It just didn't work out for me. I wanted to go on a 4-on 4-off to try and get time to pursue my hobbies, and unfortunately I got stuck on a 5-day week out of 7 days. That was basically every other Saturday, every Sunday off. But it was just like a normal job. You're doing five days a week on shift pattern from 5:30, I believe it was, till 11:30 at night. So there was no gain from it. I wanted to help people, and I was doing that, but I wanted more quality time, and it was a demand that I went full time in that job. While I was in the job, I was on 6 months probation. I was looking into the after the 6 months I could go part-time or just try and sort something out, reduce hours, but it wasn't there for me, so I ended up leaving and moving on. Right, we're approaching the lock now, so what I'll do, I'll negotiate this and then I'll carry on the conversation. I'm just taking a slow approach so I can show you it. This is Eldridge's lock, and as you can see there's a boat platform to the left and a canoe platform to the left, but we're going to try our luck with this skeg. I really hope I don't get stuck because I can't exactly turn around and take it off. So what I might do is approach it and have a look, or other than that I'm going to have to portage. There it is on the right of me. This is a grade 1. Oh, the wind's buffering me. Try not to hit the sides like I've done in my other kayaks. You see it to the left? I think the thing is, it's actually quite deep at the moment, so we should be good to go. We're going to bang into the sides, but they're not metal. There we go. See what I said about being quite smooth? The Tunbridge one was quite a bit steeper. I am taking in a bit of water, but nothing, to write home about. Oh, should concentrate rather than filming. And there's a second stage of it, and then we're clear. Try and line myself up a bit better for this one. Concentrate a bit more. Get in the middle. He says. That's it. That's it. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed that. And there it is behind us. Right, onward. Well, I think I was right. It's a bit more, although the wind's still blowing straight at me, the water's a lot calmer once you get down that lock, get through that lock. So fingers crossed, might be a little bit more peaceful now. That was fun. That's not the first time I've done that, but as I said, I've got a longer skeg on it this time, so my fear was getting halfway down, the skeg getting stuck. I can't go back up, so anyway, I've got away with it. I'm not sure if I'll get away with the next one, to be honest. I might have to portage. The next lock on this little outing is Porter's Lock. I can't remember the distance, but I'll put it in the information below. Anyway, as I was saying, so yeah, the ambulance service. So I got to the 6 month point. Literally, a week before I was due a 6-monthly appraisal, and I only had to give a week's notice. Had I gone over the 6 months, I'd have to give a month. I handed in my resignation. So I felt a little bit defeated. Wasn't what I thought. In all fairness, it wasn't what I thought it was anyway, so it wasn't going to work, so I had to get out of it. I was tired, quite dejected, because I had taken several years off before that, and obviously changed career. I was a gas engineer for many decades, and I just didn't know what I wanted to do. But after a couple of weeks off and having a little rest and think, I decided that I was, well, adamant that I was going to stay within the health and social care field. So I just started putting the feelers out, altered my CV to sort of cut down on the engineering side, which is quite irrelevant, and add the qualifications from the ambulance service and the job I was doing. And another job come up, and I've been back in work for 6 months, 7 months. I'm in the care sector. I am a carer, a luxury care home. I thoroughly enjoy the job. I work long shifts. I work 12-hour shifts, but I work on a rota where I get 4 days off 1 week, be it split into 2 lots of 2, and 3 days on the trot the next. Work every other weekend. I'm at a stage in my life, and being single, that weekends don't bother me. They really don't. I mean, for most of my pursuits, I don't do them at weekends, because everybody in the world is out doing it. You know, since the COVID, you want to go and walk up a hill, you better get in the queue, mate. If it's a Saturday or a Sunday, there's every Tom, Dick and Harry's out, and the children. Nothing against children, but I like peace and quiet. I like to be able to take in the surroundings and immerse myself in them and enjoy them. And hearing loads of people chatting and clambering about behind me or in front of me, it's just not my thing. So, new job. I've made a load of plans, or I had made loads of plans for the spring and summer, and then lo and behold, my knees are buggered. I'm currently trying to get a doctor's appointment so I can get some tests done, but I'm coming down the lines that I've got rheumatoid arthritis, because it's in both knees. So for the past few weeks, or 3 weeks, the right knee gave up. I nearly fell over. Literally, the pain was excruciating when I was on walkout in Kent about 4 weeks ago. Not a particularly strenuous walk. It was on a gravel path. It was just it was Bedgebury Forest, Bedgebury Pinetum, just walking around checking out the pine trees from around the world, and it was absolutely excruciating. And I think what I've done since is transfer the weight to my left to compensate, and I've buggered my left knee up. I can't confirm that yet. Obviously I've got to go for tests. So for the last 3 weeks, although I've still been getting to work and doing my 12-hour shifts, and I walk, between 7 and 12 miles a day in between carrying out my chores, if you like, my work. I've still carried on working. I've been taking painkillers. I've got deep heat on my knees, and I've got braces on, knee support braces. I've got them on now, to be honest, because I'm so concerned about getting in and out of the kayak and carrying stuff. It's eased up a bit, the pain, over the last few weeks. I've sort of began to learn how to manage it a bit, or maybe I've got used to it. The support braces stopped me collapsing, because when my knee, the shooting pain goes through the back of my knee, it's hurting all the time, but when the pain shoots through the back of my knee, it literally drops me. The knee just gives way, the leg goes dead, and I hit the floor. The braces stop that, so at least I don't hit the floor. I hurt myself more. But it is what it is. Years of being a gas engineer, on my knees, stretching, crawling around in lofts, under floorboards, not heeding health and safety, wear knee pads, do this, do that. Martial artist from a very young age, kicking, punching, throwing. You know, it's inevitable that some things are going to give in my more mature years, and in all fairness, it was bloody fun getting there. So I'll deal with it, work round it, and carry on doing what I can do to the best of my ability. It's so peaceful when that wind drops, but here it comes again. So peaceful. Oh, at least I'm not sweating. It's just gusts. It may actually drop off. I looked at the weather forecast and it said sort of up to, I think it was 19 degrees, and it's fairly good. When I put in this morning, it was about 8-9 degrees, and it said winds of about maximum 10 mile an hour, but these gusts are quite a bit stronger than that. Look at this beautiful section of the river. I'm going to down paddle for a second and just float along. So beautiful. It's absolutely crazy that it's taken me 11 months since I've last been out. I really don't understand that. I mean, I tend to go into walking mode in the winter anyway, and obviously with work I had to retrain again. That tends to happen, but I just absolutely love being out on the river. Well, we're approaching Porter's Lock now, so let's take a little look. There we go, Porter's Lock. Oh, I think this one's okay as well. This is doable. Get a little bit of water in the kayak, but yeah, it's doable. So I'm just stopping for a bait. You can see the effect the wind's having on me. As soon as I stop, it starts turning me sideways. As much as these are good craft, and the glider, my full drop stitch kayak, is far superior in tracking than this and in the wind. These are not made for large lakes, you know, in windy conditions or the sea. I personally, I wouldn't take them out. You know, I use them. I'm a recreational, predominantly flat water kayaker, and they're absolutely fine for that. Especially these ones, because they're a lot more robust than the traditional ones. But no way you catch me out in the sea with that. You can see if I just stop for a second on here, and this is non-tidal. Obviously it's got a flow, but it's non-tidal. The wind just takes me, and it's not even blowing hard. You can see in front of me it's blowing quite hard. You can see the cross current, and that would just push me around. So please heed that, peeps. Don't go buying a cheap supermarket kayak and jumping in the sea thinking you're a captain. You're only going to get in trouble. Right, here we go. There's the canoe pass. Right, I'm going to just have to tuck some of my things away. I've got the charger showing. I'm going to take in a bit of water here. I just know I am. That's better. Right, I've packed those away, so now on the way back, because we got a portage, I'm looking forward to getting out here and just taking a walk, because there's an island. See what I mean? Now it's really windy. You can see the current. So let's get round here. going at an angle. Like I said, I'm definitely going to take in some water here. I've been on this one before. It's quite a steep old beast. See, the wind's dragging me to the side. I've got to push off of there. Oh, this is proving to be actually quite difficult. There we go. Let's get myself round, round. Here we go. Oh, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn around and let you have a look at that one. Yeah, I took in some water, but not nothing to write home about. That is like short and steep. So she'd done a bit of a nosedive. Nothing over the sides. Nothing to worry about. What a lovely little canoe. That was fun. I love it. Nice little landing spot there to the right, which I'll show you when we turn round. Yeah, very enjoyable trip down that. Right, let's turn round. Keep on going. I believe the next one is East Lock. Might stop for some grub there. Bird song. Don't you just love it? This is actually, to my left, is actually an island. So you have the lock on one side, an island, and then this little section. So we'll be going round to the left and then sort of more or less to the right and rejoining the main path. So if you portage, which I will be doing on the way back, but that will be a bit confusing. We'll be going upstream. You go past where I turned into the canoe pass to the canoe platform to the left of the lock, and then rejoin the river, missing out this bit. It's an absolutely beautiful dragonfly and damselfly to the left of me in the hedgerow there. It's such a shame that the cameras don't really pick it up. They don't quite pick up what I see. It's good for me because I do watch, occasionally I watch my videos back. I was watching a couple of my old kayaking videos last night, really enjoying it as well. And I think one of my favourite ones was the, other than being away, Scotland and Coniston, sort of locks and large lakes. I prefer rivers anyway. Was the Grove Ferry to Eldridge Part 2. Thoroughly enjoyed that. That was a roasting day. That nearly killed me. I slept for a month after that. Tons of water, but I still felt dehydrated. So as we go to the right here, if you look to my left, you'll see where you would come out if you use the canoe platform. It should come into sight shortly. I think when I get to East Lock, I'm going to call it quits and probably have something to eat and then slowly head back. I don't want to overdo it. I've still got really good upper body strength. It's just these knees. I've been in this kayak for quite a while now, which is worrying me when I go to get out. Obviously, taking the lazy route, going down the canoe platforms instead of portaging, I might struggle to get out. But on the way back, I want to take a good gander at that lock, take a little walk around, and maybe have the time to actually walk around the locks on the way back, because obviously I'm just scooting down the platforms, the canoe passes, and it's already 25 to 12, and I've been on the water since 9:30, taking into account the fact I am filming, so it's not that I'm that slow. It's literally camera on, camera off, reposition camera. I have my 360 Insta 360 3-meter selfie stick with me, so using that for the first time, so I'm being very, very careful, trying to extend that up to get some fake drone shots and things. So, you know, I'm just generally just enjoying myself all round. It's not just being on the river. I do love recording what I see for you guys, girls, though. I love to share it. Right, let's have a little look forward now. I mean, look at that view. This is what I was saying earlier. I have not seen one soul since I launched at Tunbridge. Not one single soul walking, talking, paddling, no motor cruisers. Oh, man alive, this is brilliant. Just look at it. And listen to that bird song now that the wind's dropped. Just watching a bird that's walking along the lilies. Looks like a finch. And it's just flown. It's just walked across loads of lilies and it's just flown in. Well, it's actually flying around, hopping from lilies to lilies. There it goes. It's just to the left. I'm just going to cruise and see if it stays still. Down to now I'm here. It's in the reeds now. Absolutely amazing that they're that light that they can sort of land halfway up or on top of a reed. There it is. It's just hopping along to the left. That is a finch. Oh, it's it's quite comical the way it was flying, sort of up and down, up and down. The wind's picked up quite strong again now. Hopefully if I get round this corner it'll die off a bit. It's really nice when I get into the calmer patches, and to be honest it reminds me of things to come, because the weather's not absolutely fantastic yet. We're still getting very windy days, so yeah, over the next month or so, if you're regular to my channel, you know I really do sound like I'm anti-children, but I have two very grown-up sons, more or less middle-aged, and I have quite a few grandchildren. So I'm not anti-children. It's just that at this time of life, I prefer to avoid going out when we're in the school holidays, because I appreciate children should have fun. They shouldn't stay indoors and play on their Xboxes and PlayStations or whatever. I really do believe they should get out and experience life and nature. But I don't want to be around. It's just the noise level and the energy. It's wonderful, but not for me. I don't mind doing that when I'm with my grandchildren. That's back to being sort of like a parent again. You've got to accept that you got them, you've got to entertain them, and hopefully enjoy yourself. But my me time is me, or the minimum of people around me. Hence the weekday early put in paddles. Walks are the same. So my nemesis, if you like, is the school summer holidays. I mean, 6 weeks. Jesus, man, 6 weeks of children everywhere. I mean, if you go swimming for your health, and because, like a lot of people, when they're actually swimming, it gives them time to sort of clear their head, think. Obviously, the physical benefits, but you've also got the mental benefits. So, they may be in a lane and they're swimming, or if you go freshwater swimming, rather than a swimming pool, the last thing you want is thousands of kids around you, or families barbecuing, crashing things. If you're a serious swimmer and you want me time, are you going to go into a swimming pool in the school holidays? Really? Of course you're not. So it's the same for me. I tend to sort of just get on with my work, and if I can find a bit of space somewhere where children just won't be, I'll be there. But yeah, the 6 weeks is an absolute bugger for me. Autumn is my favourite time, but unfortunately you've only got a window of about a month, and then you're into winter, and then I'm back to walking, I suppose, if knees allowing. So bottom line is, first time out in 11 months. What do I think? This is actually my favourite pastime. Yes, well, I mean, you're wild camping. Really need to get more of the kayak wild camping side going. That will be a dream. But my time on the river is just, it's just a chill out. It's just a chill out. I mean, you're paddling miles, and you should be getting tired and whatever, but look at it. You cannot beat it. But things like, the other year, me and a mate, buddy of mine, went up down to Dartmoor and done some wild camping down there, and that was brilliant. But this is me. But as I said, if I could really incorporate some camping in with my kayaking, more of it, I do it. I tend not to video it, but that'll be great. And when I am kayak camping, I don't use this kayak. I do use my glider, because she's 16.5 feet long, and she takes a hell of a lot of weight. So obviously I can really carry some stuff. It's not like carrying a rucksack on your back. You can sort of load up to the front, move the seat to the back, so you sort of counterbalance yourself, and then lob it all out on the bank, climb out, drag your kayak out, and then you're sorted. This is far too small for that. This is just day paddles, not too far, but it serves perfect purpose for that. It's actually a very good kayak, to be honest. Very pleased with it. Oh, I'm waffling on again. Please excuse me. Got some hazy sunshine now. My legs have gone dead. They're aching and numb. So I've just had to put my knees or bend my knees into a different position. I was going to take the braces off once I got in the kayak, but it's too bloody difficult, to be honest, so I've left them on. Right, we're now approaching, I think it's East Lock, so let's take a little look. Hello-y. I'm being watched from a man on the bridge. That's it. Well, there's the boat platform, and as you can see, just past that on the left hand side is our canoe platform, and the lock gates. I'm just going to let it cruise in. From memory, I took this one some years ago in my Intuit 3, which has got 3.5 inch skegs, and God, it destroyed them. I think it's the concrete ones. We were two up in it, so it was a fair bit away. My son Terry was in it, and he's a bit of a unit. I'm not exactly light, but anyway, live and learn. So I'm not taking this one down. Let's just pull myself in. We have contact landing. Now, it's still a bit blowy, but absolutely beautiful here. Sun's been out. It's just gone in behind the cloud, but I think we're in for a good afternoon. It's nice to just get out of the boat and stretch my legs. You could probably hear the noise of the canoe pass just to the side there. It's quite shallow, and I wouldn't have fancied going down it with a 5-inch skeg, so I'm glad I didn't. Right, I'm going to get something to eat. Take a walk around.
Oh yeah, alright? Alright.
Well, I'm hoping you can hear me over the noise of the canoe pass and the weir. I just thought I'd just stretch my legs and just walk down by the lock, just to get away from the noise. I might actually bring my kit up here, and while we're down here we may as well have a look at the downstream canoe platform. So obviously we could have portaged, carried the kayak and all the kit along here, and I would do on this one with anything. Well, even my 3.5 inch skeg got damaged. So there's the downstream pass. Oh well, that's lunch over with. As you can hear, there's quite a lot of noise in the background. That's the lock keeper from Addington Lock, further downstream. And yeah, just been a nice chat with him. Actually, for only the second time in 5 or 6 years, I was actually asked to produce my license for paddling. So yeah, I had it on me. No worries. But we've had a nice little chat about, you know, the river conditions. Addington Lock has a load of improvements, and he's just saying get down there and see what it's like. Anyway, he's watering plants tonight. I'm not sure what he's doing over there, but I'm going to push off now, start heading back upstream. It's going to take a little bit longer upstream. I've got the wind in my favour, but I've got to portage at every lock on the way back now, so that's going to take a little bit of time. I do carry quite a lot of equipment. I mean, considering I'm only out for a day paddle, but a lot of it is actually non-camera equipment. It's not actually sort of, I've got a little bag in the back with some clothes in case I do fall in, but that's as light as a flea, and it's actually underneath the spray deck, so I can actually lift the kayak out with that in. But the rest of the gear is 90% recording equipment, which is quite heavy, and the town lock one is nasty. I mean, you get off the platform, you've got loads of steps, you've got to carry it across the lock. The main issue with that is personal belongings. It's not the best place to portage, but I'll work it out. I'll have to try and strap most of the personal belongings on my back, you know, the things that are important, and then go back for the kayak. I'll work it out when I get there. But anyway, let's get my paddle, push off. Yeah, the sun's blazing now. I'm gonna have to back paddle to turn round. That's it. Just got to put my big selfie stick down. It's getting in the way of my paddle. Right. Bye bye East Lock. Be a bit quieter in a minute. Oh, just a seat. Quite pleased with this water bladder I've got in the back of the seat. Although at the moment it's still tasting a bit plasticky, even though I did try and rinse it out thoroughly. But as I said, it saves waste, plastic bottles, or using my own camping bottles. Here we go. Oh well, we're well away from the lock now, and the open. The wind direction was changed, whereas I was hoping, where it was hitting me face on earlier today, it's now hitting me side on. So it's not really overly improved my paddle back upstream, but there you go. It will probably be quite good on the right hand bends, because that's the way it's trying to blow me. But it is what it is. Things change over the day. Sun's broke through. I can feel the heat from it. It's still hazy sun, but you have to be careful on the water. And I have left my suntan lotion in the car. I suppose when I turned up, it being quite a cold wind, dull and dark, just didn't think about suntan lotion or bug spray. It's actually still sitting on the front seat, but not to worry, I'll survive. As I've got my head covered up, I should be okay. As I said earlier, I had a nice chat with the Addington Lock keeper, and he asked me did I have a licence to be out on the river. Obviously I produced my licence, I did carry it. I nearly left it in the car. I was just going to bring my MasterCard as a get out of jail card in case I got in trouble, but I did decide to bring my whole wallet. So I'm glad I did, because he wanted to see that I was paid up to actually be allowed to paddle on here. It's not something that everybody knows, and if you go on some of the Facebook groups, there's a lot of sort of talk about it. Do I need a license to use a kayak or a canoe? And you do on non-tidal rivers and on, sorry, I'm trying to think. You do on non-tidal rivers. On tidal rivers you generally don't. I think there's only one that you do. So if you're on a canal or a non-tidal river, you need a license. Now some local authorities have their own licenses. I know, for argument's sake, in Kent we have the Royal Military Canal, and that comes under Hive and something. It's a separate license. Now my license I get through British Canoeing, and it covers me for probably 98% of waterways, as in, although I've cancelled it, I was going up next week and going out on the River Waverley, or maybe the Broads, excuse me, and you need a licence. The British Canoeing licence covers it, so I would strongly suggest, if you're thinking about getting into kayaking, and to be honest, even if you take a kayak out, you're supposed to be licensed. This is the second time I've been stopped in 5 years. The last time was when I went to Lock, and I believe it was the same gentleman, because obviously that is the headquarters. So you can get stopped. I don't know what happens if you can't produce a licence, but just pre-warning you, they are checking. And I'm well on my way back now towards Porter's Lock. Wind's dropped, so not feeling too bad. I'm actually feeling quite tired, but then this is my first time out in ages, so got to get used to it again. Arms are a little bit heavy at the moment. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to record a few bits on the way back, because my battery pack's running out and my camera's only on about 30% of battery, so I'll just do snippets on the way back when I reach locks, you know, getting out, getting back in the other side, and I'll see you back at, probably set it to music, and then I'll see you at Tonbridge Slipway to say goodbye. Right, onward. Man, oh man, that was a bit of a performance. It took about 20 minutes in total, but I had to be careful with my belongings, people walking past. In all fairness, the time of day was pretty good for it because there was literally school children, mothers and things like that. But that is a fair bit of graft, that, getting a kayak up and all your kit. Well, it's out of the way, it's done. My knees have survived it, be it they're still in the braces, but I'm very, very impressed. They've not even hurt that much. They ache all the time, but it's a pain I've just got used to, if you know what I mean. I mean, I've been in excruciating pain, struggled walking with them. So now just to have an ache and feel like I'm not actually going to collapse is fantastic. Right, let's get on up the last bit. There you go. Sirens in the background. Won't sell much ice cream at that speed. Boom, boom. Okay, let's push off and away. Just the last few hundred meters, really. Just looking back, check I haven't left nothing. That would be quite easy. Well, there's the bridge over the high street. Tunbridge Castle on the right hand side, and then we just fork to the right back to the slipway. That was one very enjoyable paddle indeed. Just checking my watch. 9, 12. I've actually been out for 7 hours and 15 minutes. Took a break at I think it was Eastlock. That was about half hour, 45 minutes I suppose. Did a bit of clearing up there. There was absolutely loads of shits left over from people having barbecues over the weekend. So there was another couple picking up bits and bobs and putting it in, so I got stuck in and did my bit. So take your shit home with you, people. Don't crap up the countryside. Well, I'll tell you something, every day's a school day. You're always learning. I've checked out my knees. I've been playing around with my new 360 camera and trying to get some shots. Obviously I don't know how that's going to come out yet. That will be in this video, so hopefully. Had a few problems with the cameras. Portaging. Need to reduce the amount of stuff I'm carrying so I don't have to leave stuff behind. So yeah, there's quite a few things I've learned today. So every day's a school day. Right, well, I'm nearly back to the slipway now. Quite a long video this, but I hope you stuck with it and I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. Thanks for subscribing and supporting me. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. See more videos and keep up to date with what I'm doing as and when. Hopefully I'll be out again Wednesday or Thursday. Face is feeling a bit sunburned, so I have to see how it goes. But yeah, thanks for coming along for the journey with us. Subscribe, like, share. See you soon. Bye for now.